In the sun-drenched valley of Suryanagar, where life moved at a gentle pace, lived a boy named Ravi. His mind was as bright and sharp as the midday sun. By all accounts, Ravi was a prodigy. In his humble village school, while his friends wrestled with simple arithmetic, Ravi solved complex math problems with a speed that left his teachers speechless. His essays were tapestries of eloquent prose, showing a maturity far beyond his years. His teachers, especially the elderly headmaster Mr. Sharma, saw in him a spark of true genius, often holding him up as an example. His parents, a simple farmer and his wife, were immensely proud. His father would boast of his son's intelligence at the village square, while his mother watched him study with eyes full of hope. But a shadow followed this brilliance. For all his intellectual gifts, Ravi had a creeping weakness. He was a careless steward of his own time. The discipline required for deep, consistent study was a concept he understood in theory but failed to practice. The world outside his textbooks was a vibrant, irresistible carnival of distractions. His days were a mosaic of fleeting pleasures. Instead of dedicating afternoons to homework, he'd be in the dusty lanes, his laughter echoing during boisterous games of cricket. As captain of their makeshift team, he valued the thrill of hitting a boundary far more than solving a difficult equation. When not playing, he was glued to his mobile phone, navigating pixelated worlds in addictive games. The immediate gratification of a digital victory was more alluring than the long, patient road of learning. Evenings were spent at the local tea stall, a hub of village life, where Ravi indulged in endless animated chatter. He was a natural storyteller, and his friends would hang on his every word as hours melted away. His textbooks lay forgotten in his bag, their pages pristine and unread. His parents often tried to steer him back on course. "Son," his father would say, "your mind is a fertile field. But even the best field will grow only weeds if you do not sow the seeds of hard work." His mother would gently add, "Ravi, there is a time for play and a time for study. Don't let the fun of today steal the success of tomorrow." Ravi would listen, nod placatingly, but their words were like water on a stone. In his youthful arrogance, time felt like an infinite ocean. "I have plenty of time," he'd tell himself. "The exams are weeks away. I'm smart, I'll catch up easily." Then came the day of reckoning. The annual exam results were to be announced. A buzz of nervous energy filled the schoolyard, but Ravi remained unconcerned, confident he would see his name at the very top of the list. He pushed through the crowd, his eyes scanning the notice board. He scanned it once, then twice. A knot of cold dread formed in his stomach. His name wasn't at the top. It wasn't even in the top 10. He finally found it far down the list, next to scores so low they felt like a personal insult. The silence around him was deafening. The teachers who had once showered him with praise now looked at him with undisguised disappointment. Mr. Sharma's expression wasn't anger, but a deep, sorrowful regret, which stung more than any scolding could have. Even his friends, the very ones who admired him, began to distance themselves, speaking in hushed whispers. The walk home was the longest of his life. When he entered his home, he saw his parents sitting silently, his report card lying between them like an accusation. Their quiet sadness was a far heavier burden than any angry words. Guilt, frustration, and a bewildering sense of self-betrayal filled Ravi's heart. That night, unable to sleep, Ravi found his grandfather on the veranda, gazing at the stars. "Grandpa," he whispered, "I don't understand. I've always been a good student. Why did I fail so badly?" His grandfather listened patiently. "My son," he said calmly, "the problem isn't your intelligence. Your mind is a sharp axe. The problem is that you have left the axe to rust in the rain while you chased butterflies. You have taken time for granted. Time is the most precious thing we have. It is the soil in which all success grows. If you use it wisely, it will yield a bountiful harvest. But if you waste it, it pulls you backward into a mire of regret." "But Grandpa," Ravi asked, "we always have more time, don't we? I can always do things later, right?" "No, my child," his grandfather said seriously. "That is the greatest illusion. Time is like that river flowing past our village. Once a drop of water flows past, it never, ever returns. Let me tell you a story. Ravi leaned in. Long ago, his grandfather began, there ruled a great king named Vikram. His kingdom was vast, his treasuries overflowing. But for all his power, he was a master procrastinator. Instead of attending his court, he would spend hours with his jesters. "I'll do it tomorrow," became his mantra. One day a wise sage visited and warned him, "Your Majesty, you are squandering your most valuable treasure, time. If you do not use it wisely, a day will come when you will regret it more than the loss of all your gold." The king laughed, dismissing the warning. "I am a king. I have plenty of time," he boasted. Years passed. The king grew old. His habit of postponement had woven itself into the fabric of his kingdom. Because grain distribution orders were delayed, famine struck. Because reinforcements were dispatched tomorrow, a crucial fortress fell to an enemy. His once mighty empire began to crumble. His health weakened, and he finally realized the sage's words were coming true. In a panic, the king desperately searched for the wise sage, but he was nowhere to be found. Regret, bitter and suffocating, filled the king's heart. He sat in his opulent throne room, surrounded by wealth, but he was a pauper in time. All his power and riches could not buy back a single wasted minute. In the end, King Vikram, ruler of a dying kingdom, understood that time, not gold, is the real treasure. The story ended, and Ravi sat in deep contemplative silence. For the first time, he saw a reflection of himself in the foolish king. He realized how much precious time he had squandered. "Grandpa," he asked, his voice trembling, "is it too late for me? Have I wasted too much?" His grandfather's warm smile returned. "Of course not, my son. The wheel of time never stops, but every sunrise offers a new beginning. The past is a lesson, not a life sentence. If you start using your time wisely from this very moment, nothing can stop you." That night, something shifted within Ravi. He made a firm decision to change. He created a daily schedule, allocating specific hours for every task. Waking up before dawn for focused study, completing homework immediately after school, an hour for play and time for family. The change was difficult. The pull of old habits was strong. But the memory of his parents' disappointed faces and the parable of King Vikram served as a powerful anchor. Slowly but surely, he began to see results. His focus sharpened. The joy of understanding a difficult concept began to outweigh the fleeting thrill of a game. In the next exams, Ravi not only improved, but topped his class, his name shining brightly at the very top of the list. As he grew older, Ravi never forgot this lesson. He became a successful and respected businessman, known for his integrity, intelligence, and incredible discipline. He had learned that time, once lost, never comes back. It cannot be stored, borrowed, or bought. It is the single most precious treasure one can possess, for everyone gets the same 24 hours each day. Through discipline and determination, Ravi turned his life around, proving that no matter how much time is wasted, you can always forge a brilliant future by making the right choices today. If we use our time wisely, it will lead us to success. But if we take it for granted, it will slip away, leaving us with nothing but regret. The choice, as always, is ours to make. Thank you for watching. If this story resonated with you, please like, share, and subscribe for more content that inspires. We'll see you in the next video.